Power allows Denji to grope her, and Denji gets on with it. But after a first pat down, something strange falls out of Power's shirt. This one reveals that she uses prostheses to give a little more volume to her breasts. She lets Denji grope her twice more, and after that, Power leaves. Denji thinking that the latter had a great crazy pleasure. But Denji feels flabbergasted and wonders if it ends like this. The next day, Denji doesn't have much of an appetite, and during his rounds with Power he lacks motivation and daydreams. Later at public security, he signs some documents that Makima gives him. Noticing that Denji is in low spirits, Makima asks him what's wrong. Denji recounts his experience of what he wanted so much and that he finally got it, but that after this possession he had no particular feelings. He wonders if in the future if he wishes to obtain something, for him to pursue this coveted thing will give him more pleasure than to obtain it. Makima asks where Denji is coming from, and Denji confesses that he felt a woman's breast for the first time, but it didn't feel so good afterwards. Makima takes his hand and tells him that in such a situation, the more he gets to know his partner, the better he will feel. While playing with her hand, she tells him that he needs to look at his partner's hand. The length of her fingers, the warmth or coldness of her hand, the shape of her ears. She then bites his finger and asks him if he's ever been bitten. She adds to remember the feeling, and even if he doesn't see it, he can tell her how hard she bites him. Makima places Denji's hand on his chest. After a long moment of silence, Denji panics and falls back. Makima wants Denji to do something for her, kill the gun demon. She explains that this monster, which appeared 13 years ago on the American continent, is difficult to capture and kill because its current position remains unknown. He is a very powerful demon that even any slayer would dream of bringing down. She thinks that Denji, as a unique slayer who has more ability than other devil's hunters, is able to defeat him. Makima would grant him any wish Denji desires. The latter completely liked to flank circles, jubilant at the idea of being able to ask Makima anything if he manages to kill the demon of gun, but also to carry out some thankless business. Makima continues his story. When the demons appeared, people resorted to the use of firearms, which in turn sowed fear in people afraid of firearms, responsible for deadly conflicts. Then in America arose many armed terrorists, and from this swarm appeared the demon of guns. A flashback centers on Aki's childhood when he witnessed the assassination of his family by the demon of guns. On a snowy day, Aki invited his father to play baseball with him, but the father declined. Together with his wife, they take care of Aki's younger brother, Taiyo, who stays in bed because he is sick, and the parents encourage their eldest son to play on his own. Taiyo gets out of bed and goes to play with her brother. Outside, an annoyed Aki throws a snowball at Taiyo and asks him to leave him alone. But Taiyo throws a snowball at him. The two brothers face off in a snowball fight, until Taiyo finds his hands frozen and goes to get some gloves from his house. It is only after reaching the house that Aki sees his home explode before his eyes, his parents and his brother with it. Back in the present, Makima continues. The demon of guns annihilated 1.2 million people in 5 minutes, and after that, it vanished, and since then a growing fear of demons and their strength appeared among the people. To keep the demon of gun force under control, a law was enacted stating that the carrying of firearms was prohibited, and media reports were also restricted. Denji points out that if he does his best, he could defeat the gun demon. Makima adds that the first step is to find the demon guns. She shows him revolver bullets, which are pieces of flesh from the demon of guns. As the demon guns moves too fast, some parts of his body have burned and come loose. When a demon eats a coin, it becomes stronger under the influence of the demon of guns. Makima explains that the pieces are glued together, and when they get huge enough, they return to their original shape. Meanwhile, Aki finds another piece of the demon of guns after killing a demon of fish that ate him. Public security receives a new mission. A demon has been identified and located at Hotel Morin. Several devil's hunters have died trying to kill him. Chances are the demon ate pieces of the gun demon. 6 slayers with Denji were designated to deal with the demon. In front of the establishment, Aki confirms that the demon who occupies the place has indeed eaten pieces similar to the one he holds in his hand because it points in the direction of the hotel. Denji guesses that the gun demon himself is in the hotel, but Aki disagrees, arguing that if it was really him, the reaction would have been more intense. Hirokazu Arangi does not trust Power and Denji, and Aki reassures him that he does not have to, because they are still demons, and that at the slightest escape they will be eliminated. Noticing that his partner is tough on the two Himeno demons calms him down. Denji approves of her words, and wants to have his reward as he eliminated the demon of Bat. Himeno states that she will give a kiss on the cheek to whoever kills the building demon. Denji is transported, but remembering his recent meeting with Makima, he prefers to abstain and adds that he will decide who will have the right to kiss him, based on what Makima taught him. Denji argues that pleasure is only found if he knows the person well enough, and since he doesn't know Himeno's name, he doesn't want to receive any kisses from her. Himeno approaches him and whispers to him that if he defeats the building's demon, she will give him a French kiss, putting his tongue in his partner's. Denji ends up changing his mind and, motivated like never before, enters the building first. Hirokazu follows him and stops him on the way. He claims he wants Himeno's lips too, adding that she's the one who trained him for 6 months and he's not going to let a thug like Denji steal his kiss. Aki asks Himeno if her recruits are efficient. Himeno describes Hirokazu as driven but weak, while Kobeni is strong but shy. Aki believes that within a year they will either die or quit. Himeno encourages him to stay alive. A few months ago, in a cemetery, Kishub approaches Himeno. When she has just lost her last partner, Kishub presents him with a new one and adds that this one will come in very handy, to which Himeno agrees. Since then, Aki becomes Himeno's 6th teammate after the previous ones failed to measure up. The Devil's Hunters are still looking for the demon in the building, and Himeno stops calling out to Aki that the demon is coming. A door opens and a head with hands like feet appears. The thing leaps at Kobeni, and Himeno stops it by summoning a demon to grab it. Power conjures up a blood sword and slices the thing in half, giving up his right eye as a bargaining chip, and using the demon's power by now controlling the demon's right hand. As this thing had no pieces of the demon or guns, the group goes to the next upper floor. Power wonders if Himeno could tell him if she intends to fight her if she goes on a rampage. Himeno agrees and justifies that she still has an ace up her sleeve. Power then points a dagger at Kobeni's throat to ask him what Himeno's reaction would be, and the latter then uses the ghost of demon's right hand to grab Power by the throat and strangle him. Power fails to grab the demon ghost's arm, which demonstrates that since the demon ghost has no material consistency, Power's hands slip through. Hirokazu notices a pool of blood, the same one the murdered demon left on the previous floor. He retraces his steps to check and sees that the group is on the floor above but also on the floor below. The others see him descending the stairs to the lower floor, only to find him descending the stairs from the upper floor.